Welcome, you're here, and you're safe tonight. We drift into a time long gone, a land of golden sun, whispering sand, and stone temples that have stood for thousands of years, quietly through the everyday world of ancient Egypt. You're about to walk slowly, not the pharaohs, not the gods, not just the pyramids, but the people, the ordinary lives, the rhythm of their days, and the burdens they carried. All under the watchful eye of the Nile. This is not a story of triumph or glory. This is a story of heat, of hunger, without mercy, of small joys and quiet struggles. A world without machines, and yet full of meaning, structure, and surprising beauty. So take a deep breath. Let your body settle. Let your mind slow down and imagine yourself in Egypt, thousands of years ago. Let us begin. Why it sucked to be a pyramid builder. Imagine yourself waking up before the sun. You are not in a grand house. You are not near the river, where the breeze is cool. You sleep on a mat of straw. The air is already warm, and soon it will be hot, very hot. You are a pyramid laborer, one of the thousands. Your hands are rough, your back aches before the day even begins, but you must rise. The foreman will come soon. You put on your linen kilt. It's simple, worn thin. There is no breakfast, just a cup of water, and maybe, if you're lucky, a chunk of bread or a little onion stew left from the night before. You and the others walk together. Some carry ropes, others pick up hammers made of wood and copper. There are no wheels here, no engines, only sweat and stone. You reach the work site. The pyramid looms above, half finished. A giant made of limestone, bright under the morning light. You do not climb it. You pull. Massive stones, carved far away, are dragged by hand up long earthen ramps, coated with water to reduce the friction. Still, your muscles burn. The ropes dig into your skin. You are watched. The foreman keeps a wooden stick. He is not cruel, but he is not kind either. You must move quickly. No talking, no rest. By midday, the sun is merciless. You find a bit of shade under a ledge. You drink from a clay jar. The water tastes of dust, but it is life. You eat what you brought, onions again, and perhaps a few dried dates if you've saved them. Then, back to work. You hammer, you lift. The noise of tools echoes. Men cough. Someone sings, low and slow, a rhythm of tiredness. You are told that this work is for the gods, that building the pyramid will bring you honor. Maybe it will, but mostly it just brings exhaustion. As the sun lowers, you return home. There is no bath, just a splash of water. Your skin is caked with sand. You sit by the fire. Someone shares a story. You smile. Tomorrow will be the same. Day after day, stone after stone, until the pyramid rises. You will not be remembered. Your name is not carved into the walls, but without you, there would be no monument, and in this, you find something like meaning. Let us drift now to a quieter place, still in Egypt, but thousands of years later than the pyramid you helped build. The desert is vast and silent. The Valley of the Kings lies waiting. It is the year 1922, and a man named Howard Carter stands before a sealed doorway. You are there beside him. The air is dry, still, thick with dust and time. The door has not been opened for over 3,000 years. The boy king sleeps behind it, Tutankhamun, a name barely remembered until now. But something stirs, not in the tomb, but in the minds of men. Carter peers through a small hole. He holds a candle, and he says, in a whisper that would echo through history, yes, wonderful things. The tomb is small, by royal standards, cramped, even ivory, fine cloth, but full, impossibly full of treasures, gold, a golden mask shaped like a serene young face, undisturbed, untouched. And so begins the story of the curse. Shortly after the tomb is opened, strange things happen. Lord Carnarvon, the man who paid for the dig, dies suddenly, an infected mosquito bite. At the moment of his death, the lights go out in Cairo. People whisper, the curse is real. A canary is eaten by a cobra. Another archaeologist dies of fever. A visitor has a heart attack. There are stories, so many stories, the newspapers love it. Death shall come on swift wings to him who disturbs the king. But was it true? Or was it mold, bacteria sealed in for centuries? Spores that no one understood? Or was it simply coincidence? Science offers answers. There was no magical curse, they say. Only microbes and the press, eager for mystery. But still, even now, people hesitate when they speak of the tomb. Tutankhamun's life was short. He was only a teenager. His reign, quiet, his bones show signs of illness. But in death, he became a legend, a symbol, a whisper from the ancient world. The tomb is quiet again. It holds no danger now, just the hush of time, and perhaps a little mummification, sacred science, or horrifying ritual. Now, let us descend further. Not into a tomb, but into the sacred chambers behind the temples, into a space where the living prepared the dead. This is the house of purification. The air here is cool, dry, and filled with the soft scent of oils and resins. You are no longer a laborer, you are an assistant. To an embalmer, your task is to help preserve a soul's passage into eternity. But this is not quick, and it is not simple. It begins with silence. The body is laid out on a stone table. The feet face west toward the setting sun, the realm of the dead. First, you must cleanse it. Water from the Nile is poured slowly, gently, over the skin. It is not rushed. This is a ritual, not a chore. Then, the embalmers work with tools of copper and obsidian. Carefully, they begin the process that has long puzzled the world. They remove parts of the body. Each step is precise, guided by tradition, and by fear of offending the gods. The liver, the stomach, the lungs, the intestines, each placed into a sacred jar, guarded by the 4 sons of Horus. Each jar marked, painted, and sealed. The brain is removed too, not because they thought it was unimportant, but simply because they did not know its purpose. But the heart. The heart was different. The heart was weighed in the afterlife. It held your deeds, your truth. It was left in place or carefully returned. Next comes the salt, not table salt, but natron, a dry, powdery mix found in Egyptian riverbeds. The body is covered in it, inside and out. It draws out moisture, and slowly, over 40 days, it transforms the flesh into something dry, preserved, untouched by time. Afterwards, the body is anointed with oils. The scent is thick frankincense, myrrh, cedar. The skin glistens. Linen is brought yards and yards, each strip wrapped slowly, layer by layer. Amulets are placed among the folds, scarabs, ankhs, symbols of protection. The face is wrapped last. Then a mask may be placed, painted gold, perhaps, or simple clay. It depends on what the family can afford. Finally, a prayer is spoken, words that promise safe passage. The body is not called a corpse. It is now the form of the soul. It is ready, not for burial, but for eternity. To us, this may seem strange, even frightening, but to them, it was a gift. A way to ensure that the journey beyond this life was not met with chaos, but with order and peace. The chamber grows still. The work is done. The spirit continues on, and you step back into the light, The palace life of a pharaoh's wife. Let us turn now. From the dust and ritual of the embalmer's chamber to the polished halls of power, we are still in Egypt. But the walls are painted, the floors are swept, and the air smells not of natron, but of lotus and cinnamon, burning gently in carved stone lamps. You are not a laborer nor a servant. You are the wife of the pharaoh, a queen, a royal lady of the house. But being royal does not mean being free. Your days begin at dawn, not with rest, but with ritual. Priestesses arrive early. They help you dress. Your robe is linen, fine and sheer. Your jewelry gold, lapis, turquoise is heavy, but beautiful. You must appear perfect. Always, your hair is styled with fragrant oils. A black wig may be added, smoothed into waves. Breakfast is light. Perhaps figs, honeyed bread, dates pressed into soft cakes. But you do not eat alone. There are attendants, scribes, eyes always watching. Your husband, the pharaoh, may or may not visit you today. You do not ask. Instead, you oversee the palace women servants, dancers, singers. You read letters from priests, updates from the temple. Perhaps a message from your father or a rival wife. Writing with too many compliments. Politics here are quiet, but sharp. Outside your window, you see the Nile glittering, boats drift by, some bearing tribute, others prisoners. You walk the garden paths, papyrus grows in neat rows, birds call out in the reeds. You smile at the children. Your daughters play with ivory dolls. Your sons are led by tutors, learning the words of the gods. But even here, in beauty and power, you are bound. You cannot leave without permission. You cannot speak against your husband. Your letters are read, your movements recorded. If you bear a son, you are praised. If not, your standing fades. Sometimes you visit the temple of Hathor, goddess of love and joy. You bring offerings, milk, incense, music. You pray not for wealth, you have that. You pray for peace, for protection, for a life that feels your own. At night, the palace cools, you are alone. The corridors are quiet. You remember the girl you were before marriage, before titles. Now you are queen, but not quite free. Even in luxury, life in the palace is not light. It is measured, watched, and carefully, endlessly performed. Conclusion. And now, our journey through ancient Egypt draws to a close. You've walked beneath the burning sun, hauling stone with aching arms. You've stood at the threshold of a sealed tomb, its air thick with ancient dust and whispers of legend. You've stepped into sacred silence, where the dead were prepared not with fear but with reverence. And you've wandered marble corridors, where queens wore gold but moved like shadows, watched by everyone, and understood by few. You've seen what history books forget to tell, that behind the glory there was labor, there was heat, there was hunger, there was order so tight it pressed in like stone walls. But there was also beauty, the slow rhythm of lives shaped by river and sun, by gods they trusted, and by rituals they believed would carry them beyond the horizon of death. So as you rest now, know this: every whisper of wind, every grain of sand, every old story is still with us, carried in ruins, in words, and now, in you. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Let your breath slow. Let the images fade like dusk over the Nile. Tomorrow will come, but for now, you are still and safe and far away. Thank you for listening. Good night and sleep well.